Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora, Seattle, Washington, 98133, Unit 329. And there's a dirty cop here. He's possibly the cop from Trout, the rapist from 13 years ago that ruined my life. And Randy Whittier. And just a second, I'll leave the broadcast. Dr. Jaffe is also skulking around, and threatening me and telling me I will never leave this place. And Randy has planned a Halloween horror that I've been threatened for 13 years in regards to Halloween, but she's from Elizabeth Gregory Home, and I posted the link. It's University Lutheran Church. Elizabeth Gregory Home is located in not the fancy. You can hear anyone breaking in, and Randy or Dr. Jaffe, the dirty cop. Now there's a bit of a soap opera going on. The gang members skulking around. Now Randy is 57. Her boyfriend is 26. I've revealed to her that her boyfriend cheated. And we'll see what happens next. I think Randy said, I will cut you up. And also her boyfriend wants somebody else or has another girlfriend. By the way, he is a hidden sort of disability. Remember, they're pretending to be FBI, Manson family, perhaps worse, and they're all pretending to be cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? There's always a bad cop somewhere. Now this is P moment, but there's a bad cop that possibly sympathized with Manson. He liked him. He's dead now. Little late, you dirty bastard. He could be lurking. Bastards are Satan. The U.S. took the fall with Satan because like this in Washington 13. I would have saved you all, but I didn't get raped. Sounds facetious, but it's sometimes it sounds almost common. So they're threatening, you know, badges or anything, but there's a ambulance company. AMR that's involved, that's American Medical Rescue. And by the way, Jaffe is not legally here. We're not supposed to. Jaffe's here. And the cop is here, and neither are the security. Don't even work in the place. We're not supposed to talk about it. That means, well, when a gang member tells me not to do it, and vice versa. Oh, and our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, done as earth is in heaven. Not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. The kingdom, right forever, amen. Fuck up, ugly bitch. And who am I talking to? What the fuck? Just a gay word. He said, leave your blood. Shut up, bitch. Get thee to hell. Burn hell, all of you. Our Father who art in heaven, thy name thy kingdom, thy will be done as in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we trespass against us. Lead us not into but deliver us from the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, will be done as earth is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass, but deliver us from evil. For that is the kingdom, glory forever. Amen. Our Father, thy kingdom come, thy will be done as earth is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive against us, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. Randy, one of those retarded women, messenger. So she's not going to blame her ugly boyfriend. She's going to blame me. She's like a junkyard dog. She cannot distinguish. Burn in hell, all of you. Bums, by the way, were pretending I was profaning the name of God. Because you know, then you pray at gang members. Dirty bastards. They're evil. Mostly are doing in no way. And you can find Randy Elizabeth Gregory home lately. She was living with her boyfriend Jason, the one who cheated. You should see the women he cheated with. Halloween. Don't be flattered. Halloween. Cheated prostitute, a black Nazi, the wire frames Santa outfit sometimes. Sticky. Why don't you consider next? It's like the psychotic and the restless. Something. He's had her here. He's hired her possibly. Double playing, etc. I did for you. I posted so you can keep ahead of the things. Now, if you want things, you need to know the stores that I've been through at. Inside, outside the stores, actually all of them. The banks were stocked where the gang members will act and say, oh, excuse me, in 6 states you need to arrest her. She's had an abortion, which, lies again. Killed her mother, sort of thing. So I'd go to stores if you wanted to grab me. Or, and a lot of people, they would tell things. So, in no way do these people, earlier, a security guard with a kind of a high voice, they have voice. He thought he'd march down the hall and I'd let him in. Nobody would let him. Poor Randy, time yelling, and then she spent a lot of time being repulsed, dude. Repulsed one. A lot of time being his substitute that would repulse him. And, that's spending time with another substitute that basically pushes a person away. And then the person looking for the mother substitute spends a lot of time trying to woo that person. Kind of. So I'm under CM. There were some other revelations earlier. Randy Whittier and her mother had abortions. I remember not the mother's last name. It's also very pretty, isn't it? All those people. Such illustrious people. I'm going to try quinoa, a non-dairy beverage made of quinoa. If I can stand it, but it's protein, you know. Well, I thought they must have taken it out. What is this? It's supposed to have 1 gram. I think it's like a nut. It's a bitter taste after being sweet. It's okay. Oh. What else can we reveal? Now let's reveal things about Dr. Jaffe. Caused 3 abortions. He's not even that good looking. One was, he's not a good looking man. He's just some ugly tall thing, sort of lanky and languishing, and you know, has some hairy arms and some olive skin. Not any distinct features. A lot of olive complexion men, of course, have been handsome, but he's not. I don't see how he caused abortions to, you know. But Randy might see it differently. Oh, Randy does. What did you do? They're evil zombies, so that like them, and they are. And there is no. Let's put it this way: I'm not going to have any sort of feeling of wanting to please. Nothing of that. Just, but know that I'm surrounded by babies. Oh, and by the way, I say important names. They're names that British, so, and of course through Dr. Jaffe as well. So he has a Randy was gone off and on this week. So did Evie. Randy is an ugly. She's and about 5'6", was a tubby figure. Really remember seeing any breast definitions. I just see belly. But it hangs like from the 17th century. Kind of figure the leggings, you know. You've seen it. And then sort of, well, she's got sort of a lyric. She's a Satanist. And then she was clicking her gun, and then of course there's Dr. Jaffe, and she dyes it, I think. She's fat. This male boxer look about her. Because she likes pink, sweet voice, and she's just she looks like a male boxer. She wears flowered bathing suit, even in the winter, to show off her cleavage. And I remarked to someone, you know, she was walking around with her towel, and people sometimes complain because she likes to show off her body. She's 270 or so, but her attitude is sort of, look at me, aren't you admiring my breasts? I'm naked. I've got my breasts out, everyone, here I am. I've got my breasts out. This is Guthrie Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington, 98133, and cop from Tri-Court, some whores from Elizabeth Gregory home at 1604 Northeast 50th Street in the U District, and it's Seattle, Washington, 98105. And Dr. Jaffe is here illegally from PACT. One, possibly two dirty cops. One synced 13 years ago. He was working as a security guard, getting raped, started to ruin my life, yada, yada. Since he is here, they are making threats about you're not going to leave. And the security guard, it sounded like the security guard earlier, he was in front of my door, but he was so cocky, he thought he'd come in. He doesn't want to come in, believe me. I know. And I've got the tape ready. And, you know, a phone to call 911 ready. So I've got plenty of tape. It does hold well. Oh, and by the way, now I want you to know they are in on sacrificing animals, and one of Dr. just that over and over, or baloney, talking about making you into food. He also might be to Irish people that they've targeted, but I think it was a cannibal reference. And then the animal, remember, Randy, when she was only about 12 feet from the animal being, let me see, 1, 2, 6, 7, 5, maybe. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue, North Seattle. I was talking about where Randy would be positioned in this space. There was a woman selling cat. I both probably about here, and then female. So 5. So that person in the closet, did it 5. And Randy's about 5'6". Doc, he's tall. He's about 6 feet tall. I think 6. And he's in the building. Oh, or she called it. Now I'm going to tell you what the cops have done. What bums like to do. So in order to discredit people, they'll do like keeping a microphone. So you can hear people taunting you, and then they can hear all your business. Illegal surveillance will be in weird areas like a crawl space, janitorial room. And this is like a home for, the poor, good or not. And what the drug, the I'm eating some cereal, bad cereal. But you will find combinations of people in government conspiracies within the Bloods, the Zetas, the Asian with the real cops, and a lower end government, even city people or even bus drivers, guards, and or even like people playing medical, like a dirty psychiatrist. Well, maybe he's not here, or when he is, or maybe a dental hygienist, a nurse's aide. They're all mentally ill people here, pretty much. Randy is not an investigator, and her, or some sort of disability where he's mentally on Social Security, he can't function. And it's not that the low-income people that are gang members are clever and hiding in low income, they actually can't function. So you that toilet right there, I was toilet paper, and I You'll know someone like these people living in apartments. They're going to buy crack. They're going to buy meth. Now, I might do something stupid and buy a suitcase and a stupid backpack from eBay, and crash and burn a bit during the month, that I'm smart enough to go home because I pay for storage, so I'm smart enough to think lies. But I have to be careful, because anything allowed the gangs to take over had my when they want to get you and their dirty cops. That's what makes voracious and unstoppable. When you hear about a bunch of stinky whores, a bunch of retards, some of them people, they'll either sleep, they smell. One man smells like rotted flesh. Rotted flesh, and has talked about how he's actually walked around with the victim's fingers and chewed on them and sucked on them. Why would they chew on that now? What if and do things like a spoken kid in your just talking about creating a demon? Fuckers, you're not evil. So that knocks off or plot or whatever you want. We're not evil. So there goes your whole moron. Also, smart enough to judge anybody, and they're also not smart to consecrate anyone. So all those innocent animals are good enough to decide that anyone 13 years in America, they can't consecrate. Neither can their buddies or demons. They're not good enough. Burn them up. Blow up every fallen and every demon. I think that's still literally. Oh, and one of the bums is talking about they chop people up and think they're going to get, now I'm the only one with sacrifice a person looking for those chakras, like actual flesh. They'll also, now that noise, my beautiful bums here carry chains. These are mixtures of, like, Randy, she's a bum. She's a homeless bum. She looks like a madam, an old lyric madam. And then you've got Dr. Jaffe, who supposedly went to school. They think blow up, if it is. Blow up every demon and every fallen. I'll blow up the devil and himself. You say, why are you afraid? Well, I've experienced such sheer evil for the last 30 dirty bastards in the U.S. are any evil than a demon. Because, and if you looked at what, because they don't have a soul, spirit, or chakra, how many times they steal mine, how many times they rip into my uterus, to my etheric body, and we got your aura, like UFO, Irish people, which of course, a curse on me, but they still look horrible. Who does? They're still ugly, retarded morons. I think that alone, that premise alone, should free a lot of spirits. They're not good at somebody's level. They like devils. How can you then say, that person's devil and retarded, when you've got a demon next to you that's a devil and retarded? Go to hell. Can't see, it's like hypocrisy. So with demons, so they're exceedingly illogical, and anybody who walks around smells at a serum and you have a fecal fetish. So you could say that Dr. Jeff, is that categorical? I think it is. See, they all these bloods, I saw you by spirit. Think bad. Not spirits, all these people have fecal fetish. They like to play with the menstrual blood, semen, urine. They think they're big if they're ejaculating into your water. It's just to reach. It doesn't make a person a whore because some comes into your room and ejaculates on your stuff. And what it means, they're sick people. People of the very wrongdoings that they themselves are doing. Following you around saying, She killed people in 6 states. She's linking to murders of children. Well, if the cops had really been smart, they would have said, duh, I wonder if that's a murderer. And these are child molesters. Did they ever wonder? Oh, they're all retarded. Ever attacked me. To brush my teeth, I ate a lot of sugar. So the devil is low. So these people, vampires with a blood fetish, you are tapping right into sheer evil. I mean, you can sit and scare yourself on a scary night, but realize you might be summoning, especially after this fall, that people do not glorify them. True God, and love Him and love Christ. Oh, it's too late for this. They have. Well, they're still fearful that I should be attacked and people would start. And so everybody pretty much is inside the humans, and they're very. So, an 80-foot monster. Think of about. Elizabeth Gregory, rough, yes, and everybody was a human Halloween themed party with horse. Thank you, God, for having the heat work tonight. I froze last night. Predictableness, but high enough to on. I just nudged it a bit and it came on. Hot, but I'm grateful for that. You ever have. And he was jealous. Just snapped her fingers. You don't snap your finger, you don't snap your finger low. You are low. Now, I'm going to do some exercises, and if you want to fight the human zombies in America, I can teach you some. And realize we're not terrorists. We're doing things that are psychically, we're doing exercises. One just took my chest, and she's playing singing, and chops up every black Nazi ever with anything. Oh, he chops up American Zombie and anyone like them and who likes them. Hell. Remember, these are Satanists. They gave up their chakras, spirits, and they constantly pick. You look like a zombie now. You're going to be a zombie. It's called jealousy. They lost theirs 13 years ago. And some of these people, their chakras were bad anyway, and then there was a difference between. If you believe in zombie, like an ESP network, there are people it's pulled uterine. So it often transfer around friends, but then they'll walk around that the people would have curses on them for taking my chakras, even use the chakras on other human zombies. So to try to get and being meant to be somebody other than what you are, and to fight the devil moron picking at you. 132 things. And they just took uterine and soul, and they're playing ambulance, but ambulance. They eat every time period, every place, chops up every blood, zeta. I just heard something squeak, perhaps an animal squeaking. It's in Randy's vicinity. So even sacrificing a mouse that is being stuck, better that mouse than to have it lurk and live with Satan. Have a crowd. It's like maybe there's a guy in England that's well, that doesn't mean that he's just strengthens the crowd. And they just took chest and long-haired, sort of like a little ape man. And they've tried to pick at me and cause maximum pain. Remember, my physical body could have actually, what you want old. You want people like Randy to look like old hags. She is what she is. You want Jaffe to have the receding hair. You want him, everybody, for having any particle of meat. any particle of me the last 13 years. Oh, and if you're wondering what this, it's a charger muttering, blah, blah, blah. Everything you own is theirs. They try to portray skills, your smelling skills. Excuse me. And example, doing crime and Satanism, stalking people. So, job in a social services, some warding, some with stores too, and there's a plain bum. So I always use the example of bananas. So like buying bananas, and people decide you're not a gang member, you didn't pay 10 million to activate a curse, but also you don't believe in curses, they'll act, oh, you bought bananas and they're bloods and they put a curse, they're after you. There's a horse snapping, you don't snap. You're a stinky, that's, oh, and by the way, they've illegally advertised me, and they've also brought as many people as they could to try to harm me, including like people were sneaking, terrorize you, and then mom in the kitchen cooking with you. But I already knew people were. I wasn't surprised. Good. Now, my sister, they're just a half sister and a half brother. Well, my sister would take me out portion of the house money, which turned out ironically not to be very much, would have got rid of me easily just to get $14,000. That's not even that big of a shock because, but they were always feuding, and sometimes I wouldn't see them for 7 years, maybe it wasn't 10 years, it was 7. No, you didn't. There was a lot of, but she wasn't a nice person, so not a big. My stepdad died, so there's no my because they go over to Port Orchard and run her mouth and such slang about it. I just stayed away. I wasn't that interested. You're a bad person. Then you realize something. Click. You realize everybody's a zombie. Who just good enough to spirits or me? They're not good each or nicing or blah 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 sentences, and you could turn the curse around, which is a common method of cursing someone so that they could 32 million of the dirty filth. My shock aura, and then like black Nazis saying she wanted that to happen in France. She wanted that to happen in England. We're so big. So they're busy ruining the world. So, by the way, I don't worry about other people. Get at anyone playing me. Like I said, if the curse is on, I don't even say you're striking out. Let's say you want people to start cursing them. Here's a good exercise. You take the vile products that they menstrual blood, semen, urine, fecal. Sounds gross. You're not cursing someone that's evil. You're not doing an evil act, I believe. And then make them out of like every lesion, every tumor, make them be out of every make them out of everything they've ever put into my. Make them out of cancer. That's their largest DNA. Make them out of maggots. Make them out of corpse plant and durian fruit. Especially make them the energy. They've taken hold, and I sort of not to get on their bodies. Book about colors. It's not just primary and secondary colors. So, like, you could start with, like, let's say you have fuchsia, and then you any kind of color, and you can and some deadly patterns, but don't forget and don't forget black and white, which are not colors that are pillowy. I'd say those are evil. They've done it to you. They think bad. What about kidnapping. And some of these, well, I know some of these are linking with intent. If you have some pretty deadly results for them. There's another white, like iron lamp almost. Some look like woven. There are some that look like ropes. Do that to every ever do anything to me, and you're not against my worried about you. And if you're in another country and you're not even hurting bombs in the U.S. either. That could take away some of my friendly feeling toward Russia. And pretty much a human zombie. I think they're all gone. The retardos, as you know, that they like to do. The black Nazis admire anti-Semitic, and one of them threatened poor with my and fantasize or theorize that Jewish people in blue eyes, he thought these, and even if they had like the mark from the he always one of those girlfriends. So a lot of these bums, by the way, one of the actually falsified relationships can have it on the net and pretend that you're the Nazi. You don't even like black guys. You think they're ugly. Well, that's your right, okay? Well, anyway, the Jew that I was telling you about, he there. If you, it doesn't matter what religion you are, and Washington. Chanting, Jesus got medicine. So if you think that, gone too. A head attack, they're playing beat the hell out of blah, blah, blah. And make sure they're eradicated. Every blood, every Asian street. Bomb, there's a whore threatening, put it this way, you ugly, stinky whore. I will respond, not the way that you wish, you ugly hooker. So they just took chest, chops up every black Nazi, no matter what you say or do. To watch it, because they'll call people by the wrong names. They were calling, black people were calling them ends a while ago. Retarded scum. And they flourished for the last 13 years. Buy glasses. Well, you're not going to get them. But you might get something else. Which could involve fuck to do, including black Nazis, because I don't give a shit. I'm going to have low-income buildings anymore. You want these people euthanized. They're pretty much zombies. So you want that... Dash them. Trillion times a nanosecond. That's a curse, not a terrorist threat. And hit one who's attacked me. Hit them 900 trillion times. Now here's the fun thing. Don't just put the energy fields in them. Heads out of things with our DNA. The American. And they like to suck blood. Make all their ancestors into leeches permanently. In the nursing head on someone who's in a coma, put them in, like where there's butcher and zombies in them instead. Also, shock colon. They just took uterus with making someone into a leech. Don't let leeches like if there's a tank of leeches. If it had, and then her grandmother, and then so her leech in the American zombies, and they destroyed people of like their God, beings like God, and I hate these people. They're profane. And so you can put curses on them. It's not bad. And they've put curses where you are. And then the leech could be in her family tree. There you go. Talking in a car. Playing zombie and they're playing whole thing nod. What is that whole thing nod? The bells or other beings where they think that if they gnaw on you, like I talked about, it's a black nod, he will walk on the fingers of a rotted victim. In black Nazis, also remember it's blood, Zetas, and Asian street gangs, and bums are bragging in the food. May they punish all of you forever. Anyone too. And how's your grandma? In a plane. You'll hear. And I'm going to strike at the zombies. Now, don't make you can also make their clothing out of deadly energies. Here's a good curse. Make everything in the environment, the human zombie, out of deadly energy. So, like, I'm pounding on a wall right now, or actually it's wood. Instead of all that, they all can to destroy. Somebody hit my attacks. It strikes the humans. People who ruined everything with a mirror by using, and they're playing uterus. And you could put one of the curses I put, pulling at my uterus and playing cutting you all. Same treatment. Well, anyone playing with my uterus, obviously, especially, you can make the males more feminine and the females more masculine. So conceivably, cutting into my uterus, it's a psychic attack, is what I'm talking about. But like transsexual women they look like Ricardo played ladylike. Just did an explosion and he's a woman that chopped black Nazi every time period, every place, no matter what you say, and chops up every blood and Zeta. And try to call somebody. You're in absolutely big trouble. How's your grandma, by the way? How's your grandma? They're playing cannibalism and food. I have to eat aura, spirit, and soul. If they'd left me alone, I might not have had to eat. But I have water and I have to eat. And then they tried to punish me, and the bums playing Chosen. The thing is, these people have no vision. The black Nazis have sat for 8 welfare breeding. And the flies turned around in a bit. I think America paid them for the slavery and not for their shit. How about that? You're just maggots. Whites that are in with them are retarded maggots. Zetas and Asian street gangs are retarded maggots. The Satans are just maggots. Chakra areas filled with maggots. You can do terrible. Think of horror movies they've done to us. You can rot them all. I'm not just talking black Nazis. I'm talking everybody that's a human zombie. You can. Now, here's a fun thing. They like to take away bones and tissue. Well, you can curse them so that, like, every rose is made out of their head. But you don't want their head. Turn around and do what they've done to us. You can give them when you remake the U.S., you can give them every tumor and lesion. Now, this will influence them. You can think of people like the 40 people you didn't think existed. Make everyone look like that guy with the tumors all over his head. I'm not interested in cannibalism and zombieism. You make everybody look like the guy with herpes. He has a long porcupine coat. I think he had some taken off. And it's all over it. Think of every American zombie looking like that. Hit people in other countries who like them and who want to, or who are like them. I don't mean they have the same. I mean people who act are Satanist zombies. Playing top. So these bums have actually, if you believe in paranormal, they've history as well. Like, let's say they're burned, and he's like screaming rape. Bull retard. Well, but I tell you, say the bulbous-headed retard is threatening to rape. Put him in the body of a person who's in a terrible accident. It's messing around, but I think zombies have messed around with. So, get an American zombie executed, then innocent. Here's another fun thing you can. The zombies like to play themselves to be mix them all up like a patchwork quilt, regardless of color. Like half a nose is white, half a so nothing. And do that to the so-called beautiful women chakras. So-called beautiful, the men and the women, males and females. Punish these American zombies. And remember, body shake, my shake. I'm also trying to retrieve the spirits and get them away from the U.S. for using them. They did terrible mischief. So there was another plane at 26. So once again, there's deception. Moms are calling me custard. Custard. They're playing Slave and Dairy Queen. Now you notice the Dairy Queen breast to breasts. You can like the males who are attacking my breasts, which the torsos. The vagina. They're calling themselves deep. Remember, rosemary oil. Over, you pray to God. Remember, they have a vampire fetish. They wanted to make vampires. Vampires. They hate rosemary, vervain. Remember to God. They hate around so good. So actually, I was putting garlic in here. They're very hot over it. Very strange because the apartment manager have inspections. I would have in each corner. They didn't, and like salt. It wasn't that discreet, but I didn't have, and I didn't have any rat. And a rat has come in. I haven't been using much vinegar, but I didn't have ants. And there's a rat that comes in. They don't like it on their feet. Leave the rat alone because I don't want poison in here or cruelty of the dead. Or the rat is worth the whole of America to me. It's more than the zombies ever were. Should last 13. I like people 13. Like, oh, it's really like, oh, I might be in the or wallet. Oh, here's your wallet. Drop your wallet. It's rudimentary. I don't really care about them. It's not that I care about the person. It's because, you know, and a dirty cop sometimes, but then you get outside. You still, let's say you go to the library, you still have to return those books and on time. You go to Elizabeth Gregory, sure you threatened on the way and there. I'm trying to think if there had been a time I would have liked her as a friend. Her younger age, she would have been too corrupt for me. Or those things where you. Now they just blew out Head. That's the scene. He's playing Heaven. Chops up all and chops up. You know, if you put a curse Jesus or full Jesus over the they were evil spirits, not necessarily over the cliff, and over the cliff. He didn't work. I'm eating cereal. They keep trying to like, so I always I try to get them out. Even if you keep being evil, eat them. But I don't care if the humans eat each other. Armageddon now started. People will probably start. We have a month. Oh, she'll bullet eyes so she can, get her steak filling the before, Armageddon starts. Oh, wait, just stole Head. You can do things to them as well. So, when I woke up, I'm going to tell you about all the sickness. We're trying to charge spirit would be missing flesh and muscle. They just took more head, by the way, in spirit. And the horse spirits hunted and chop up every black and chopped down. Come down hard on blood, Zetas and Asian street gang. Chops up black street gangs. No matter what you say. And chops up. Let's see what the quinoa milk do, like a blowing motion. It's because of cannibalism. And one of the retardos, that's a retardo sitting, or one of the other turds. Who cares what a retard does? You're a retard. Where people cover their mouths with a handkerchief, so they're organisms. So fuck you, ugly. Is a retarded black. He's a mentally ill moron. Anyway, you're not in the league, bitch. With more. Care about moron on her brain in a plane. They don't have their own brains, remember that. And they just took. I try to make it witty and not too cliche or singing. Could be a weird country and web to curse. That's your average black Nazi anyway. We just pretended they weren't. Getting that age dementia? Is that how you sound like that? There's a bum playing fireman to play fireman. So remember when you've heard about World War II? You might not remember World War II, but the Americans saved people from Hitler. Well, these bums like to play, you can't stop it, you can't set it, moron. It's not to you. You don't set fate, you're shit asses. You're all shit asses. You're all retarded shit asses. This is an example of a retarded shit ass building. Sorority girl or fraternity guy out there, they're not even what you think. They're stealing brains. In some cases, they're eating them. There's a moron saying blah, blah, blah loves me. Who cares who loves you? You're shit asses. It's only a shit ass that would actually love you. When a shit ass loved a shit ass. When you take you don't make rules. You don't make rules. You're retarded. Education, most of you. You're nothing. Cannibalism. Or the bum chanting, my head to Merlin, and he just took head. So, remember, that's an example of deception. Hold them to blur their intent. It throws you off. Also, if you're trying to curse somebody, and there's a retarded whining bum going, my head to Merlin. Well, do you know what he really means as he takes your head? My head to Merlin. I think I have to put away this. Oh, a bum playing gallon of milk. He's playing on making food out of you. Then you make yourself into food for the other zombies. Now, feeding you and drinking you. You can put a curse on him to be eaten and drunk. Just make sure that zombies. There's a whore playing, you have a boyfriend, you're going to have, I can't even stand to listen to them. There is no boyfriend. There will be no boyfriend. You fuckers, no one, so especially a black man. You're not even in the same league. I don't consider you in the same league ever. And I don't give a fuck what you want. You're playing all day prison. You're a smelly, ugly fucker in a retard building. You're just retarded. And you've got a year left and you die anyway, ugly bitch. You're not powerful. You're a retard. There's the road. You're not powerful and you're on your way out, bitch. And by the way, if anyone invades us, guess what? The Americans brought it on themselves. They're all idiots. You know, I think Putin just knows that the Americans are retarded. That's what's happening, really. Putin, Europe and England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, and they're in NATO with them. They threaten Russia. It's retard. I don't even blame really President Obama. A lot of people want to blame. It's retard. Just shut up, you ugly bitch. Yep. So these bums think they're going to manage everything by deception. They're not self-black Nazis and the other scum. They going to enslave you in the rest of the world and have people to eat. It's retarded like people building. They're playing, you're still retarded scum, and you're rotted scum, and you're still ugly, even with my chakras. You're still retarded. You're still. Am I threatening them? No, he's dying of AIDS or something. You're still gross. You're still smelly. This is a really wicked curse. It's not really that wicked because zombies. Every human zombie, you can have them destroy themselves. Have them do what they've done to other people. So let's say they're ripping my chakra all day. Have them rip themselves uncontrollably. Like, can you imagine taking off your own legs? Have them do it. Curse them. Whole U.S. of human zombies. He's a moron. And you can blame the morons. That's why Putin's cruising by the coast, you know. Do you hear me? Community's fault. Have the American zombies attack themselves with their own hands. Here's Randy your eyeball. Here's Randy ripping herself to a skeleton. Happy Halloween, Randy. Do you like that curse, Randy? She said that's what we did to Irishmen. Well, Irishmen do it to you. Whatever you did to anyone that I liked, they do it to you. One of the bums just played Jesus is blah 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 and tried to pops up blah. So the Americans themselves will get us into war, and you can't wholly blame Obama. You've got to blame the retardos holding hands and are holding hands with terrorists, including they were in communique with terrorists through ESP.